Hello and welcome to Game of the Week. Today I'm going to feature World of Warcraft Mist of Pandaria. Actually this should be the Game of the Week from the last week also, but since I took a week off from making videos because of this game, I make the video now. So I'm quite sure everyone, well almost everyone, is familiar with the World of Warcraft, and the new expansion came out around a week ago, depending when I actually upload this video, but approximately a week ago. And I'm here doing some daily quests for this Galaxy faction, which is essentially a faction completely considering only completely made out of bugs characters, similar to these that I'm actually killing at the moment. These are most likely some rival team or something. I'm not really sure, not really that much reading the lore, and as you can see I'm taking some beating now, but it should be okay. So as I was saying, this has been around for a week now, and before this I had 1 year break from World of Warcraft, so the break actually did the trick. Now I'm actually enjoying the game once again. Before I went to break I did not find it that interesting, but with new expansion and a year-long break I actually find it interesting once again. Of course the game is essentially built on the same core as it was from the very start, but they've been making those tweaks that have been happening all the time since the game has been published. And when it comes to this expansion Mist of Pandaria on its own, I think for some reason I am getting the Burning Crusade vibe from this expansion, that they are trying to follow the success that was the Burning Crusade. They have been making some nice effort, and I can't really explain why it feels like Burning Crusade that much, but it does feel like it. Some changes that have happened since Cataclysm is that, for example, the reputation that you need for factions can only be gained by doing daily quests and quest overall. So someone might see that as a negative point. Instead of farming dungeons you have to do quests and dailies, but well, I'm a bit mixed up. The dailies are at least up to this point decent, so I have no problem with that, but I would like to have both actually, but maybe that would gain the reputation too fast. And also they made some changes with the way the justice marks and mark of the world or whatever they're called, I can't actually remember their name, it's been too long. Valor point and justice points, yeah, those are the things, how they are used. You can only buy items from factions, and you need to have reputation in order to buy it. For blue items you need to have honored reputation, and for epic items you need to be revered or exalted. So it's a nice little gap that needs to be get before you can actually get the items that you want. Of course someone might consider it as that as an just time sink that is trying to make the game longer, but well, I think it's nice that you can just rush up to gear, that you have to actually do something in order to get it, instead of just leeching heroics or whatever you used to do back in previous expansions. So I like that, and there's some nice features that were added in this game. The questing, I talked about it before I got into those features. It's pretty much the same as it was in Cataclysm. It didn't change that much. It's still all this vehicle and that kind of stuff. Quests are okay. They're not anything that great, but they are pretty standard MMORPG stuff, so it's decent. And well, when compare it to Guild Wars 2 style of questing, I like it more in World of Warcraft, as well, you know how much you have to do, how many you have to kill or whatever in order to complete the quest, as in Guild Wars you actually just saw the progress bar going and you could just guess how much you can or will need for the quest to complete. But let's not compare this to that game anymore, as I'm sure you find enough comparisons from the internet anyway. So about those features that I was going to talk about, they've added this scenario, which is basically dream and questing. So you get put up with two random guys, unless you of course go up with a group, and you get in these various places of the world where you do this quest-like stuff. It depends which one you get. For example, there is the defending of Terramore, and there is some arena-like battle where you get different bosses and you have to beat them up. They're not that challenging. They're actually quite fun and have some lore inside them, so you also know what is going on. I like doing those from time to time, and they actually even give you some rewards. These caches of treasures usually contain some gold, but they can have items also inside them, even though I haven't received any so far. And another thing that's new is the challenge mode. I haven't actually personally tried this out yet, but I've heard that these are pretty challenging, as you should expect from the challenge mode. You really need a good group in order to finish them. And as you can see, there are these realm best and guild best times, and I don't know if they're really working, as there seems to be none at the moment, and I'm pretty doubtful that no one has run this. Okay, so I can't really check the readables as it pops up in the browser, but it doesn't matter. But anyway, practically you have to do this in a certain time frame, and I believe there was some kind of limitations. You either get weaker armor or something like that. As I said, I haven't tried them out, but there is also a daily quest, or well, a quest, I'm not sure if it's daily, that's part of the challenges. If you complete the challenge, you get an egg that you can trade for a mount that tells everyone that you are a really tough guy who can do these challenge dungeons. But on the negative side, there is this heroics. They are quite simple. Well, sometimes the mechanics are nice, but it's not really hard per se. I've done some heroics, and so far I've revived once in the Scarlet Monastery, when the boss that used to be called as hero in Scarlet Monastery Armory do some spinning attack, and he actually got all of our guys in the spin and killed us. But that was just a stupid mistake from our part. But apart from that, we haven't wiped, and I'm quite sure no one really dies in those heroics unless you have terrible group, and that have to be really terrible. So I think that they have made the heroics too accessible for everyone, that they don't really feel like heroic, and maybe they are trying to do that heroic is the normal stuff that everyone farms, and the challenges is the real heroic stuff. I'm not sure, I haven't actually read any interviews or anything like that, so I can't confirm this, but it feels that way. But that's the only negative side I have so far from the difficulty. I haven't been able to ride just yet, as most of our guild is still leveling up. I've been at max level for few days, 4 or 5 days actually, and doing some questing. Actually I've been doing more questing than in any expansion before, so you can guess that the quests are quite decent, since even I have been doing those, and I usually avoid questing as much as possible. But yeah, they are quite decent and fair. Only, if you can call something unfair, is that Hemingway is making a return in this expansion with his hunting of animals, which you might remember from Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King. That used to be a bit of a grindfest of killing multiple animals in order to get the quest done. Well, the amount is still 15 creatures per quest, but the quests are a lot less at the moment than there used to be, so... Oh, someone just attacked that. Well, I can take that one. So it's not that big of a deal. Usually the quests are decent, and well, these dailies show you what they are like. And if I think if I have something else that I would like to share with you at the moment. Well, of course there is this pet battle system, which, if I can actually find the right tab, is that you can have these pets that works exactly like Pokemon really. They even have that 8-bit style music going on when you start the pet battle. I'm not really sure how big of a thing that can be in the end. It's nice pastime for when you're waiting for dungeon queue or something else. I'm not that much into leveling these pets, but I've noticed some of my guildies like to do it a lot. But well, I'm not judging it. It's decent content, and I'm sure you can spend some time with it, so it's okay. And what I've understood, you can actually battle with each other also, so you can prepare for some exciting not Pokemon battle fights. Now I have to check where I was actually supposed to go. Okay, I go get that one boss guy. I'm not going to talk about longer, really, a bit more, but that's it. Okay, there's the guy I need to actually kill. As you can see, the game has scaled a lot again. This one guest guy has 1.1 million HP, and well, the scaling starts to get pretty ridiculous. You can't really get that same feeling about the numbers without comparison tooltips as you used to. They are getting big too high in my opinion, but that doesn't really matter. Of course the spell scales in the same way, so it's not really matter of only bigger numbers. As you can see, I can crit you for 100k with my Pyroblast, so I'm not going to mind that. I want to explain why this Cooperite is only used for some blacksmith recipes, which can be bought from those and I don't have blacksmithing on any of my characters, and well, pretty much everyone has mined some of that up, so even our guild members should have enough of that to get their recipes, so I'm not going to bother wasting inventory space with that. If I talk about the gearing system a bit more, the gap that you get from needing the experience and the reputation for items is something that can keep you down with the gear for some time. I'm mumbling a bit as I'm trying to look at what I'm doing at the moment. I'm once again taking some beating, but nothing too major. And actually I was spending 3 days just doing quests and daily, since I actually couldn't get myself some new gear because of those those reputation limits. But I didn't really feel that as a bad thing in the end. It was nothing major in my opinion. It's nice that you are not able to get instant access to heroic dungeons unless you spend money to buy the items. And that's what it should be like in my opinion, instead of just getting the max level and immediately hitting the dungeons without any effort. Of course, the pricing is a bit weird to talk about in here since it's different on every server. I wonder what this item does. Well, nothing interesting. But of course the prices are pretty high at the moment, but they are plummeting also rapidly. But for some professions there seems to be a lack of recipes. For example, tailoring doesn't seem to have that much of stuff to do. Of course they must be hidden somewhere in the factions, but I haven't yet found out where that actually is, where they are hiring. Not that it really matters as I'm engineer or miner, but anyway, there's some problems, if you could call them problems, with the recipes, but well, I'm sure it will be even out when couple months, well, even weeks have passed by and people are getting the levels and reputations up to a decent level. But I think that I have covered this week's game of the week enough. If you have some questions you like to ask about the game or anything, then feel free to write it in the comment section. I'll reply to every comment. If it's ridiculous comment that has nothing to do with anything, well, most likely I will reply to that also, but my comment won't be that useful either. But well, I can guarantee that I will reply when I see the comment, so. But anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry about this some sort of mumbling. Half the time I'm trying to figure out what I was supposed to do, or having a tough situation at hand, so that is why I be struggling a bit with my speaking, but I hope you understand and can live with the fact. If you can't, remember to tell me about it in a way that I understand, and well, if it doesn't matter, then remember to like this video and so on. Anyway, my name is Rubyace, mumbling about World of Warcraft Mist of Pandaria expansion. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.